Howdy, partner. Today we're going to be taking a break from your regularly scheduled medieval videos to bring you out west, where the land is dry and the people are strange. Welcome to the Wild West. So today we're going to be taking a look at this incredible Wild West Saloon set that I was sent from Funwhole. And we're also going to be upgrading it with minifigures and an additional base plate that I'm going to be adding onto the set so that we can create some cool duel scenes in the middle of the town. So first up, let's take a look at the figs that I made. I wanted to have two rival gangs living in the town, so here we have the Rattlesnake Gang. This is their leader, who I've made with a lot of really fun parts like this Luke Skywalker poncho and a sombrero from a CMF. I really love how this guy turned out. He's got a real larger-than-life aesthetic, which I think works great for a Wild West gang leader. The poncho, sombrero, and big mustache trifecta is really what makes this fig look fantastic. I was very inspired by the classic Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns with a lot of these figs, and I think this one just takes that idea and really runs away with it. So for the other members of the Rattlesnake Gang, I wanted to tone down their aesthetics a little bit to make their flamboyant leader stand out even more. So for these two, I went with the basic cowboy hats and bandanas, along with a mix of old LEGO Adventurers parts and Indiana Jones parts to make some convincing looking cowboys. Please just ignore the fact that this guy has a zipper on his jacket. Those weren't invented until the 1900s. I'm gonna place these guys down in the middle of the town over here. I think they just look fantastic standing back to back together. Alright, now before we build the other gang in the town, I think we should fill it up with some more regular civilians first. So here's the owner of the fine Saloon and his daughter who tends the bar. I think this face print just screams Wild West rich guy to me, and I could totally see this guy swindling people at the poker table. His torso is actually from a Lex Luthor minifigure, but I think it still works great for the 1800s setting. His daughter here is made with almost all of the parts from an old cowgirl CMF. I'll place her behind the bar, and I'll place the owner of the saloon in his back office. Now here's 4 other random figs that I made to populate the saloon with. These guys aren't anything special by any means, but I think they work great as patrons of the saloon. I of course couldn't resist and had to give this guy a poncho, because I mean, come on, how could I not? That Clint Eastwood look is just so engraved in the back of my mind right now. I'll place these 4 inside and around the outside of the saloon. Alright, now let's take a look at the next gang that I made, the Tumbleweed Boys. First, their leader. I've made this guy with the incredible CMF bandit torso and legs. The bandolier print is just incredible and works so well for a gunslinging gang leader. I've also given him the long, slicked back dark tan hairpiece. It kind of reminds me of one that you'd see Arthur have in Red Dead Redemption 2. For the other 2 members of the gang, I wanted them to look a lot older and more grisly looking compared to their much younger and cleaner looking leader. I really love that contrast, and in my opinion helps the leaders stand out more on their own. Again, I've used a mix of Indiana Jones parts here because they just naturally work really well for cowboys. And thankfully I had another poncho because I mean, come on, look how good they look on these figs. I'll place these guys down in the town opposite of the Rattlesnake Gang for their upcoming duel. And for our last couple figs, we need a sheriff and a deputy to get some control back over this town. I've made them with these cowboy parts from a LEGO movie set that had robot cowboys, but you can just swap out their robot heads and hands for yellow ones, and they work perfectly fine as a human sheriff and deputy. I just love the details on these figs, especially on the deputy, who has a really classic color scheme of sand blue and brown. Now I've also made an outlaw who has been caught and is now facing capital punishment at the gallows in the town. Alright, let me now give you a tour of the town. So this is the base plate that I built to add on to the saloon. It's got some patches of mud that I made with dark tan plates and tiles, along with some of these sand green cactuses that I made. I love how these look with the coral colored flowers that I decided to put on them. I think the sand green is a much more realistic look compared to the regular green ones that come in the set. I've placed them all around the gallows that I made with a lot of brown parts and a lasso piece as the noose. This base plate is super simple, but I think it makes for a perfect addition to an already great set from Funwhole. Speaking of which, let's now take a look at this unbelievably good saloon model made by Funwhole, who sent me the set to make a video with. Now, even though I was sent the set for free, all opinions on it are my own, and I'm going to give my honest thoughts on it. So let's get into it. The set comes in at just over 2,000 parts and retails for $100 US. With the set, you get numbered bags, a thick printed instruction manual, a light kit, and a brick separator. First, I want to talk about the design of the model. This set is very nicely detailed. You get a mix of printed parts and stickered parts that really add in a lot of flavor and texture to the build. The build is super attractive from a couple of angles. You could display it at an off angle like this so that it's facing you front on, or you could lay it straight out like this and it still looks really good which is great because they just released a sheriff's office set that you can connect to this model, similar to the modular buildings from LEGO. And when you get up close, you'll notice a lot of really fun, smaller builds within the interior that can be accessed with the door that swings out on the back side of the model. You've got a piano, a poker table, a fully lit up bar, a grandfather clock, a bounty board, a functional chandelier, just a ton of fun details in the main interior. And if we move around to the other side, we can blow out this wall with a little fun play feature in the back that reveals a back office of the saloon, which has a few more little details inside. Do a lot of these details rely on stickers? Yeah, but I've never had any issues with stickers myself, but I do understand that some people still dislike them. For me, stickers are a great way to get more details into a build. Probably the smartest thing that Funwhole does is that they include a fully integrated light kit and system into their sets. The instructions will tell you when you need the lights, and they actually have these specially molded parts that allow for the wires to safely pass through them without pinching them. The lights are subtle, but that extra bit of warm lighting on the inside and around the outside patio just add in a lot more life to the model. Now, before we make some cool dueling scenes in the town, I want to talk a little bit about the quality of the bricks. I make no exaggeration in saying that these bricks are the closest to LEGO that I have ever come across. The color match is the best I've ever seen, and the bricks just snap together in a really smooth and kind of perfect way. It's hard to describe, but it's very, very close to LEGO. I genuinely don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between them and LEGO if it weren't for the logo printed on the LEGO ones. From the snappiness of them to the color, they are just the perfect alt brick. Now, my only real complaint when it comes to the set is the minifigures included. These guys are just plain ugly. The proportions look strange, and I'm just not a fan at all. Thankfully, you can use the weapons and other accessories that they come with LEGO minifigures, because these ones just aren't it. But overall, I was blown away by this set. You get an incredible looking display model with a light kit and physical instructions, all just for $100 US, which is just crazy considering their competition. If you'd like to pick up this set or any other models, you can use my link in the description and use code GOLDFIRE for 10% off your purchase. But now let's make a cool Old West duel scene. So I'm going to place the leader of the Rattlesnake Gang here, and I'm also going to add this little bit of white smoke onto the end of his revolver. It's such a cool technique to make it look like his gun is just fired off. I'll now place the leader of the Tumbleweed Boys on the other side, and I'm going to position him like he's just been shot. So I'll use his alternate face print, and I'm also going to use some transparent parts to make it look like his revolver is flying out of his hand. I love this kind of action shot I've got going on, but to make it look even better, I'm going to use this little sub-assembly to make it look like his hat is also flying off into the air. Now, if we add in the other gang members around them and some more action poses, we've got a pretty sick looking scene going on. I absolutely love how this layout looks, and I had so much fun putting it together. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Again, if you'd like to purchase this set from Funwhole, you can use code GOLDFIRE for 10% off your purchase, or use the link in the description below. Let me know what you think about the Wild West theme in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe? I'm almost at 10,000 subs, and it'd mean a ton if you did. As always, thank you so much for watching. Adios, amigos.